What is up, geeks and geekettes? It's another episode of the Countdown to the Geekcast. My name is Ted, aka Steady. Joining me once again, the man behind the magic. You know him as Joe Garcia.
Hey, everybody, and Maddie.
Oh,
Had a long day. Did a lot of yard work, getting the pool ready to go. Been out in the sun. I don't give a
Yeah,
damn right now. I'm ready to do this. Let's get it started.
there you
hell
go.
yeah.
And my partner in crime, wearing his amazing Countdown to the Geekcast TMNT themed T-shirt, the one and only Matty B.
I'll raise you one, Joe Garcia. It is good to be here. This store was completely out of overpriced, crappy beer, so Ted is not having one with us tonight. But we have a good show for you nonetheless.
Yeah. I
Absolutely.
think with the stuff going up, everything's inflated now. Inflation going up. I don't think Teddy can afford the bougie beer no more. It might be Miller Lite for you, son.
Yeah, sheesh. Even Elon Musk is drinking Miller Lights.
Yep. He
Tech
knows.
technically, my beer was always overpriced, and now you guys are just having to deal with what I was always dealing with.
Oh no,
Uh,
Miller
Yeah.
Lite's still one of the cheapest and the
So
best beers out there.
yeah, and if you want Ted to drink support, go to countdowncitygeeks.com, hit the merch shop, grab you one of these for the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, and help Ted and his beer fund, please.
Yeah.
please
And
do
no
that.
more. We're not gonna have any of that blueberry beer tonight. The with the pinky up, drinking it with the little
So
pinky up.
good, so
No.
good, so good. No, actually, you know what I was having? Cranberry lemonade, my new favorite thing.
I like cranberry lemonade a lot
It
with the
could
shot of vodka,
Yep.
but
Now
it could use
that's
some
my
vodka,
boy.
yeah, buddy. Some vodka or some. There's a great distillery on the north side,
Oh man.
um,
I just
Rebecca
am looking.
Creek.
Maddie's like, just put vodka in it, bro. Drink it.
Tito's.
There we go. Fantastic. We're off track. What is up, guys? We got a lot to talk about, right? We're going to be talking about some geeky weekly headlines. Some of the things you may or may not have missed. We'll talk about that at the end of our show. We're also going to be talking about the finale, the season one finale of The Last of Us. Oh man, what a season! What a ride it's been. We're going to talk about last night's episode as well as the entire season. Did it meet our expectations? Did it surpass our expectations? You guys will find out what we have to say about it. But first, I would love to talk about this weekend's past festivities. If you've noticed or haven't noticed, we've been kind of busy, and that's because mostly because of you guys out there. You guys have been supporting us, listening, watching, sharing, and it's caught the attention of a few folks. And we've been lucky enough to participate and partner with a number of local events. This past weekend was no different. The More Phenomenal Expo happened this past weekend. It was a 2-day event, 15 Power Rangers and guests from like a number of seasons were there, and it was absolutely fantastic. Shout out to Adam, who was super helpful, who was amazing, and shout out to the entire team. Half of our team was out there, on boots on the ground, meeting with attendees, um, giving out giveaways. We were giving out stickers, limited Power Ranger comic book covers. We're also having a raffle that we're gonna announce a winner of for some exclusive items. But it was absolutely fantastic. Shout out to Ray, who designed our lanyards, and shout out to Mike, who manned the table, Jose, who stepped out there, Tommy, who stepped out there, and then Daniel. Daniel's probably the MVP of the weekend. Dude did about, I don't know, 7 or 8 interviews over the weekend, talked to a number of the guests on hand. Those videos coming out uh, a few days in between, or maybe a few weeks in between, just because he has so much stuff that he has to edit. But all in all, fantastic weekend. San Antonio turned out. It looked and it was amazing. It was a lot of fun, a lot of cosplayers. just great. And it's just another successful event that, San Antonio kind of puts on and shows out for. It's really cool that these things keep popping up and you think like, oh, this one's going to be slow, or people are getting exhausted, or there's too many events happening, so they're not going to come out. But no, another banger of an event. So yeah, that's freaking great.
Well, San Antonio is a because I hadn't lived there for very long. So as a newcomer from much larger cities that I've lived in, um, San Antonio really shows out for the geek and nerd culture. It really does, and I think that it has to do with the rich Latino culture there. There's a lot of comic books and all this stuff's very popular in the Latino community. So I mean, it just really shows out. I've been to like one dud event, and I go to a lot of events, and San Antonio shows out, and it's always awesome. I was looking at some of those pictures, and I was having FOMO because I'm over here in Houston, and we got this booth set up and everything. This is my like thing, I want to get out there, shake hands, and network. So I was jealous, but I was very proud of everyone's efforts, the content that was coming through, and just kind of how everyone's kind of congealing around this idea that we care about so much, which is Countdown City Geeks. So kudos to you, Ted, for leading the way on that and starting this movement that's been going on for so long. I'm glad that we're rolling in the right
Yeah,
direction.
Maddie, you almost sound like a politician for a minute, man. Want to shake hands, kiss the babies, take pictures.
Well, that's what I do. That's how I make a living.
I dig it, dude. We need to get Maddie back into San Antonio for a weekend. We need to let him know with advance notice. So, maybe at one of these future events coming up, we can have Maddie make a return for the weekend.
Yeah, I'm trying to get Ted out here at least, or anybody who wants to come for Kamapalooza here in Houston.
I might be down for something like that. I'm gonna, like I said, my schedule's changed a little bit, so weekends are
Yeah,
gonna be free. So yeah,
I got 2 rooms at the house. We can talk about it later. You can stay for free. Let's just go and have some
yeah,
fun.
and then we'll drink afterwards.
Hmm.
Absolutely. You know what? We need to add somebody else to this mix. Joining the Geekcast, the one, the only, Retro Ray. What's going on, brother?
What's going on,
All right.
guys?
What's up,
So
Ray?
what have y'all been talking about?
Nothing,
We're
just
just talking.
BSing.
We're talking about more phenomenal. Tell us, in your own words, your experience, how great it went, or like, what were you surprised to see, and all that good stuff.
No, also, it's a great show. Actually, since I had mic issues last Monday, I didn't actually get to talk to the promoter, but I got to talk to him for a little bit up there, and it's kind of funny with the stories we kind of got into. He basically, one of the 20th anniversary when I put it together for the movie screening, we had an exclusive VIP package, and he actually bought one of those packages, and he still had the Morph coin that we gave for that package. And he was talking about how awesome it was and stuff like that. And he kind of mentioned that, him and his son pretty much, his son got him back in watching Power Rangers Megaforce. So it's pretty cool.
Nice.
Absolutely. Talk
Hey, I
about
do
your
like the Critters, by the way. T-shirt. Way to
Oh,
represent.
thank you.
Nobody has a better T-shirt collection than Ray.
For real. Facts.
Ray is you actually Retro Ray. You know how I have the sex appeal after my name here.
Uh-huh.
You need to add on. You're the drip god of the Countdown City Geeks. You have the drip. You have some T-shirts that I wonder what your collection's worth. You could probably sell some of those.
Yeah, I spent too much on T-shirts and caps.
There we
I
go. We
get
all got a
from-
fetish, so that's Ray's.
Oh, yeah, dude.
T-shirts and caps.
Ripped apparel, freaking 80s tees. Man, when they pop out with some new shirts, like they just came out with the Fright Rag just came out with Mega Drive, the shirts for that one. Those are pretty nice.
Nice.
Hell yeah, man. Let's see. Great event. We had a blast. Wonderful meeting people out from San Antonio, especially Legacy Nerd. We just talked about you. Your ears must have been burning.
What's up?
Yeah, Daniel, who absolutely killed it. Again, check out his channel. Subscribe to see the interviews from some of your favorite Rangers from your favorite Ranger seasons. Yeah,
Bless you. Somebody sneezed.
Kevin's in the chat talking about getting us to Michigan. That would be amazing. Sometime in the summer because I couldn't pull off being there in the winter. But yeah, maybe one of these years, one of these events, we might head up there. Is there Detroit Comic Con? There's got to be Detroit Comic Con.
Yeah, there's
Something
actually
big like
Motor
that.
City Con.
Motor
They
City.
have up
That's
there.
right. That's right. Lastly, I'll say the events don't stop. If you checked out our show from last week, then you already know that. Sorry, I had to fix something. You already know that this coming weekend is a Comic Arts San Antonio event. Wait, nope, keep me honest. That's next weekend. Next weekend, March 25th 2023, so not this Saturday, but the following weekend. Over 50 exhibitors, artists, writers. If you're a comic book fan, you don't want to miss this one. It's at the Wonderland of the Americas Mall, same place we've been every single month. Free parking, free admission. Just pay for your articles, your photos, your collectibles that you purchase. Those are the things you have to just focus on. But yeah, it should be a great event. We spoke with a promoter last week on our stream. So if you want more information, go check out last week's stream. But the Comic Arts San Antonio event going down March 25th at the Wonderland of the Americas Mall, and a few of us will probably be there. Ray, I know you're going to be there, right?
Oh, we can't hear you,
I
Ray.
hear
I
you.
think you're muted.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to go. I just got hit with having to cover somebody's on call, so I'm gonna try to
Ooh,
go if I can.
I know how that is, man. Believe me.
work,
Yeah,
silly work.
work, man.
Yep,
Too bad,
I got that.
it's
Yeah, I'll
crazy.
probably be there, Ted. I wanted to interview that one local artist here from San Antonio who is actually going to be uh, penning or drawing, should I say, the new Marvel comic that's going to be coming up, the new series of the Black Panther. So definitely want to go and talk with him about that, especially him being a minority. That's a pretty big story from in my eyes. Always wanting to represent Latino and the African American community here. So it's good to see a hometown product really rise up through the ranks there. So good on him.
Absolutely. Legacy Nerd saying one of the Rangers knew who he was. Absolutely, because if you listen or follow Power Rangers at all, Daniel's been like the face of it for the last few weeks. So yeah, of course they knew who you were, bro. Rolando
What are the odds?
Flores says, "Sup? What's going on,
So
sir?"
What are the odds, Ted, of let's because I'm a goal setter. I think it's important.
Ooh,
We've been going to a lot of these events at one of the geekier malls in San Antonio, Wonderland of Americas. What are the odds of doing a Countdown City Geek Fest or Geek Con at one of these? Let's say we can have the ball started to roll and by the end of the year. Ray, we're going to need some networks and some
some
I
connections.
mean,
t-shirts.
Ray could pull it off in a month if we asked Ray
Yeah,
to. Ray would be like, "Oh, I got the
Uh,
venue, I got the people, it's all set up."
yeah.
I
We
wish,
could throw
man.
our own. We could throw our own fest.
That would be
Uh,
amazing.
it would definitely be pretty cool, man. Like I said, Angel was there too. He was helping out at the convention too. He puts on some good shows too, man. The ones he's got coming up are pretty good too. Kind of interested. I got to see the guy. The dishes are done, man. That's the guy I got to see.
Absolutely. So it's something that I would love to work towards. It would be an absolute uh what's it called, bucket list item for me
Yeah.
to put on some sort of con or like themed event. So I'd absolutely love it. It would be a dream come true. That's what it
If
would
it's
be.
Hey,
outdoors, we
you're
could do like Tower of the Americas and get some of the vehicles that are anime themed come out there,
Hey, now
represent
we're talking. Now we're
family
talking.
friendly.
you're
I
already starting
mean,
at the movie event this Saturday.
oh my gosh, you know what? I'm actually glad you brought that up. So Maybe that's something I should also mention. We've talked about past events. We talked about a few future events. So let's go ahead and now talk about what we're doing in the very near future. So, if you didn't see the post earlier today, we are, and I mean us, the Geekcast, we are putting on a screening of the Snyder Cut, Zack Snyder's Justice League. This Saturday is the 2 year anniversary, and we are screening the movie for the first time in a public theatrical event. It's not been seen on the big screen before at a public event. So this will be the first one in San Antonio that I'm aware of. Actually, no, that I'm not. I am sure of it. There's not been a public theatrical showing at a movie theater of the Snyder Cut. If you would like an opportunity to join the Geekcast, the geeks, at the Snyder Cut screening, there's a post on our Facebook page. Go to that post. There's a link. We're going to do a raffle and pick a select number of winners. All you got to do is send us your email, join the email giveaway list, and that'll be how you can potentially join us at the first screening of Zack Snyder's Justice League, the 2 year anniversary.
How many are you thinking, Ted? How many special
You
guests?
know, I don't want to say because if I say a number and it's not that much or it's more than that, I don't know. I just don't want to false advertise. So I will pick as many winners as I can. Um, but yeah, seats are limited. Like if I could fill up a whole theater, I absolutely would. But seats are limited, so we're just having to make sure we stay within the margins, within the threshold. But yeah, I cannot wait. Just something I've been wanting to do since before the movie came out. I've always said when I get the opportunity, I'm gonna watch this thing on the big screen. Even after it came out, I loved it. Wanted to see it on the big screen. It needs to be seen on the big screen. So we'll see what happens, man. Should be great. Should be a good time.
Yeah, bring your piss buckets because it's a long movie.
I'm planning on doing an intermission at the midway point of the movie. I think it's necessary. It's not necessary for me. I mean, I grew up on the Lord of the Rings movies. You know what I mean? I've been in the Star Wars marathon. This is a walk in the park, but for some people, they can't sit through 4 hour movie all in one sitting, and I get it. I get it. To each their own. So yeah, planning for an intermission and should be exciting. Looking
Just
forward
be
to it.
like Ted, man. Just wear the Depends and don't tell nobody, man. He just sits there,
Yeah,
I'm gonna wear my
yeah,
Ghostbuster outfit. Maddie already knows. We have like a catheter thing going on. That's like a
Oh,
yeah.
hose, and so yeah, that's where all the fluids are gonna go.
so that's what's gonna happen when you put that slime nozzle or whatever, that slime blaster. You wear that tank. That's what all that is for. I see. I see.
There you go. There you go.
No, the slime blaster is for different
Yeah.
movies.
Legacy Nerd says intermissions became necessary for me like 2 years ago. Yeah,
I
man.
agree.
Age.
I'm right there with Daniel. I'm getting nachos. I'm refilling beer. I'm using the restroom.
You got to sit next to Maddie at movies. I never done it, but Maddie, like he always says, he likes to share, man. So
Oh yeah, I get a bunch of food and I'm constantly sharing. Hey, do you want some of this? Do you want some of that? It's for me. I don't go to movies that much. I will every once in a while, but I don't go all the time. I'm not a cinephile that like I don't have to hear it in Dolby. I can just watch it on. I have a nice TV. Okay. So, but when I go to the movies, I definitely make it an experience for sure.
there you go.
Well, if
Speaking of
this,
movies, oh, go ahead, Ray.
well, I say if this event does well, maybe we could do a 30th anniversary Power event.
Power Rangers. Yeah, man.
30th
Uh,
anniversary.
y- get Blake to show up for the
Well, that
30th
would be turbo.
anniversary.
That would be turbo though. Well, I was thinking more the first Power Action Gallery movie, and then maybe we can get some guests, especially we get that special guest that we're working on the line.
If you ask me today, which of the original five I would want at like a screening, it'd be Amy Joe for sure. Just
Oh man,
she's a sweetheart. She's so
Yeah,
Ted's first
she's so.
fun.
crush.
You can just say she's so beautiful.
Everybody's
You can just say
everybody's
it.
first crush. Everybody's.
Um,
Oh yeah,
for
dude.
me, it has to be. It would just be Alpha. I would want like a fully functioning Alpha costume,
Oh my god.
That would
kind
be
of
cool.
interrupting the movie. Even like at certain points, like ay ay ay.
That'd be
Kevin
hilarious.
says two Rangers are coming to Lansing for Capital City Comic Con. Ooh, I wonder which ones. That's pretty dope, sir. Speaking of Rangers, and I know I've already talked about More Phenomenal, but had a quick meet and greet with the one and only David Yost, aka
Oh, how'd that
Billy.
go?
It went really good. Here's the funny thing. I don't remember. We were in line, and I got there early because this was the morning before More Phenomenal, so I wanted to go meet Dave and then go back to More Phenomenal, and the whole day there. The line took a little bit longer than expected, but I was still pretty early in line. And one of the guys in line was like, "Hey, you look familiar." And sure enough, we told him who we were, and he was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, I've heard about you guys and stuff like that." So that was great. And then we go to meet David. Me and Daniel were there from Legacy of Nerd, and the first thing David says to me, he shook my hand. He goes, "Have we met before?" I was like, "Listen, I get this all the time, and I don't know what to tell you people. Like, I've done 50 million things, and it could have been any one of those things. I've been a wedding officiant. I've been a DJ. I've been on in bands. I've done panel moderators. Just it could be anything. But yeah, it was pretty funny. He was great. Super nice guy. Um, I wish I had more for him to get signed, but yeah, I didn't get a chance to. Been so busy. But yeah, it was great. I'm gonna save that photo and I'm gonna try and get as many of the original five signatures as I can. So Austin, Walter, Amy, Joe, you guys watch out. I'm gunning for you. Daniel says that line was ridiculous. It probably got to about 100, 150 people by the time we got in the store. Like it
Dang.
was it was getting pretty long, and I haven't heard how long he stayed. It was only supposed to be a 4 hour meet and greet. It had to have taken longer than that. But we'll find out how it went. If you guys went to go see David Yost, let us know. What was your experience like? Want to hear from you guys. Oh, Ashley from Turbo Space and Adam from Turbo and Space are going to be at Capital City Comic Con. That's pretty cool, sir. That's pretty cool. Awesome. Well, let's get to our main topic of the night, shall we? I know we're only 24 minutes into this, but The Last of Us, the finale. Look for the light. If you haven't seen it, we're about to spoil it right now. So pause this video, come back afterwards, hear what we have to say. But if you watched it, we want to hear from you guys. What were your thoughts? Not only about the finale, but I want to hear about your thoughts about the entire first season of The Last of Us. Did it live up to your expectations? Did it not live up to your expectations? We want to hear from you guys. Legacy Nerd says one of our watchers stopped me and said they handed out number 105. Ashley
Oh,
interview is on his channel. Oh, yeah, Daniel's interview with Ashley from Turbo and Power Rangers in Space is already on the Legacy of Nerd. Go check that out. Very cool. If you have seen it, stick around. You know how we do. I got through half my summary, so I'll kind of make the second half up. But the rest of the summary goes a little something like this. We open with the birth of Ellie and her mother, who fought off an infected, but not before she was bit on the thigh. This event led to Ellie becoming immune. Fast forward to the present, and Joel and Ellie are feeding giraffes, but the happy moment doesn't last long as the fireflies incapacitate the both of them and lead to Joel waking up and finding out their true motives. Performing brain surgery on Ellie, which would kill her, but hopefully bring a cure to save humanity. Joel doesn't go along with this, taking out the entire Firefly team and saving Ellie and getting out of Dodge. The episode ends with Joel and Ellie having a heart to heart, but Joel, in order to save what's left of Ellie's humanity lies to her and says that he had nothing to do with the fate of the Fireflies. Lied to her, basically. And that's where we leave the two of them. Your thoughts on the episode, the finale. Maddie B, you up.
I thought it was good. It was shorter than I was expecting for sure. I didn't check the runtime. I didn't know that it was 1 o'clock at about 43 minutes. In fact, I probably expected it to be a little bit longer, given that it was the finale. Um, what poetry in motion to have the voice actress of Ellie in The Last of Us Part 1 play the mother of Ellie, giving birth to Ellie in that scene. And honestly, with some facial features and everything, they kind of did look alike a
Oh,
little
yeah.
bit. Like it was a very passable. Like that could have been Ellie's mom for sure. That scene was obviously very intense, but we did find out a crucial piece about Ellie, and I like that too because we've been kind of wondering, is this just an anomaly or whatever? But we learned why she was able to be immune, which I'm actually glad the Fireflies didn't find out about because they're a pretty ruthless group and may have tried to recreate that scenario if you get what I'm saying, because they were looking for a cure so hard. So it's kind of a dark thought, but it's good that they didn't find out that that's how uh, kids are born immune. But um, I thought Joel's absolute ruthlessness, um, it was just crazy to watch. I mean, it was vicious. And it plays against that fact that Joel really isn't a good guy. He's not our hero here. He loves Ellie and he wants to take care of someone that we care about in Ellie, but he's not a good guy. He's not a good dude. But he has a big heart, and you saw that a lot in the episode where he was trying to play Boggle and trying to get her some ravioli. Obviously, she's like, "Dude, I'm like messed up right now after everything I just went through in this last episode." But we get to that draft scene. It was nice. It kind of reminded me of Jurassic Park a little bit. You remember when Alan had Ellie and Tim, and they were trust him a little bit, and they fed the Brontosaurus,
Yeah.
uh, waiting for the giraffe to sneeze on him. But that scene, for some reason, pulled me back into Jurassic Park. Um, but when they get to the end there, and she asks, "Hey, did you fucking lie?" Oh, sorry, excuse me, Geekcast After Dark. Did you lie to me? And he's like, "No." And then it just boom ends. I was not expecting that at all. But overall, the season, the episode, everything fantastic. Great TV. I loved it.
Absolutely. Joe, what about you, sir?
No, I thought it was ironic how they had the actress. What was her name? Ashley Johnson, who actually played Ellie and did all the stop motion, all the, I guess they animated her face and her reactions and all that for The Last of Us, the video game. She was the one that was giving birth to Ellie, so the irony, she played Ellie in the video games and she's giving birth to the real life persona, so thought that was a nice touch. Me and my kids were freaking out. Me and my oldest sons, we're looking at it. And he's like, "Oh crap, that's the girl that plays Ellie." And I was like, "Oh yeah." And I also remember seeing her at the end of the movie The Avengers. She was that waitress that was coming out as the movie was ending, and she made eye contact with Captain Rogers. Captain America. So that's
Yep.
where I remembered her from. But other than that, just the episode was a short runtime. And you start seeing this, you see Joel having this unhealthy obsession with Ellie, where he needs her. It's kind of like almost like not a creeper vibe, but it's like this unhealthy obsession where she's become an object of his affection, where he needs her in order for him to keep moving forward. She's become his world, but not in a good way, because he is not a good person at the end of the day. And you see what he's willing to do to keep his, I guess, the charade going. He lost his daughter. He finally tells Ellie, how he got the scar on his head and everything that was going on, because she's asked him before and he was not willing to tell her. And you can see just from that interaction right there that the relationship has really has grown even more. It seems like every time they're put in these dire situations, the bond between them increases. It grows stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger because they're forced to do things, especially Ellie, that she would have never thought she was capable of doing before. And she's just going through the motions. She's doing these things to survive. But afterwards, I think she's having a little bit of that PTSD where you can see she's shell shocked. She's not talking to him. She's very quiet. She's kind of like reliving things, thinking things out in her head. And Joel's over here just acting like, hey, it's cool, man. This is fine. Like to him, it's normal. You do some pretty messed up shit and then you just keep moving forward. And her, she's a kid, you know? So all this stuff is real to her and it affects her in a different way. And I think Joel sometimes forgets about that. She is still a kid. She's not an adult. You know, she hasn't lived this harsh life that he's grown accustomed to and done all these things that he's done. She's lived a hard life, but nothing like Joel, you know, killing all these people and just basically just his animalistic behavior is guess is what we're really starting to see come out. Um, and one of the things that she kind of understands a little bit is that they were getting closer to the end of the line. They're getting closer to the end of their journey and she's already know that Joel's tried to leave her before, so she's kind of needing a little bit of reassurance that he's going to stay there because she doesn't really know what's going to happen. You can tell that she's nervous, which is why she's trying to talk with him a little bit more about what do you think is going to happen, what happens, you know, and kind of like, are you going to be there? And him reassuring her, yes, I will be there. And they're both kind of hesitant. You can tell, like they don't know what to expect. They're going into this hoping for the best, but expecting the worst. They don't really know what's going to happen. And in their moment of just having fun and talking and all that, right after she fed the giraffe, you know, and that's when you can really tell where she's a kid because look at how excited she got. She just took off. And that's what kids do. They be damned if there's danger or whatever. She took off running, making all this noise, and he's like, Ellie, what? Be quiet. What are you doing? You know? And she's just chasing this giraffe because it's just a moment of her just being a kid and being happy and experiencing something new. And I think that was a beautiful moment there with Joel and Ellie because that was a genuine moment. There was no turmoil, there was no uh, dire situation, life or death, fight or flight. It was just kind of like a father enjoying watching his daughter experiencing something new and finding the beauty and the joy in that, you know? So that was short lived. As we know, they started walking and then the fireflies found him and they didn't know who they were. And then Joel wakes up and he's in the firefly base and finally he's being told, oh, they're prepping her for surgery because in order to, you know, develop a cure, they need to extract a lot of tissue, you know, and that means that if they do that, the host will expire and he just can't live without her. He wants to see her. I need to see her. I need to see her. Nope, nope, nope. So that's when it all goes to shit. Basically, they try to escort the brother out, and he's like, "No, I'm gonna go get her." So he just lays waste to all these fireflies, and that's again, you're just seeing the lengths that he'll go to not have to lose Ellie. He needs Ellie. I think he needs Ellie more than Ellie needs him. You know, so he went through all this trouble to mow down the fireflies, save her, not tell her the truth, but you can tell from the interaction, especially when she's kind of waking up and still out of it, she knows something's up. She knows something's amiss. And for those that have seen or not seen, have played The Last of Us 2, you know what's coming. And I keep trying to warn my wife because she's so into this series. I tell her if it's anything like the game, and they can change some things. Let's put it like that to me, it's going to be mid tier as far as the final product. But they have already said that they are going to go ahead and separate season two into more than one part. So you're going to have season two. It's going to drag out a little bit more, which is a good thing for fans of The Last of Us. But so far, The Last of Us has been one of the best series that I have seen thus far this year. It's really well done. HBO Max did a marvelous job in bringing this, you know, to the TV format, you know, to the streaming format. And fans that were not a fan of the video game before and had no idea it even existed, they know now, you know, and they know how important that storyline is and the emotions that it just draws out of you. It was a tough play in some of these when you're playing through the video game, going through, you know, the first one and the second one too. There's some cringe moments there. Like some people even said it was too much for them where they had to stop because it was just too much emotion for them. So season two is going to be a wild ride. We'll put it like that. But I you know, playing the video game, I know what to expect, so I'm not going to ruin it for people. But really well done, HBO Max.
Daniel's in the chat saying, "Who else got Blade vibes? Ellie is a daywalker." Absolutely, man. I like the contrast between what you guys are saying and what I was kind of thinking. Matty B says Joel really isn't a good guy, which is true. He's done a lot of bad stuff in his life. Um, some people might defend him, saying like it's the apocalypse, like everybody's kind of done bad stuff.
Everybody kills
Joe
someone once in a while.
Joe is saying that he has his almost like an unhealthy obsession. And then to me, it's it's more of like there's some people who are willing to take a life of a child to save the world, and then there's just some people that won't ever cross that line. Joe's one of those people. Won't ever cross that line. No matter how many people you can save, no matter how much good you could do, sometimes the ends don't justify the means for some
But
people.
see, that's where I disagree with you because Joel is only attached to Ellie. Had it been another kid that he had no attachment to, he wouldn't have any problem with that.
I disagree.
I don't think he would.
Well, he said earlier. He said, "Am I family?" And he said, "No, you're luggage." Well, that was just like a couple episodes ago. Like
Yeah.
I agree with Joe. But Ted, go ahead. What was your?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like the ends don't justify the means. That was kind of the whole point of not to get too much into like another franchise, but that was the whole point of Avengers: Infinity War. The Avengers weren't willing to do what was necessary. You would have killed what's his face, not Ultron. Homeboy
I
with the
know.
soul gem in his head.
Vision.
Oh, Vision.
Vision. If you would have took out Vision the first minute of the movie, there's no movie, no gem, no Thanos who need the time stone to get that gem. You save the universe if you're willing to take out Vision. If you're willing to take out Gamora. If you're willing to do what's necessary to save the entire half the universe, then there would be no movie. But no one was willing to do that. Hence why they lost. They lost in Infinity War. Um, Before we get any further into this discussion, Retro Ray, your thoughts on the finale, man?
I agree with you too, but I understand the whole Joel thing too, but I think he's really seeing his daughter in there. You having a daughter, I'm having a daughter. You know, I think we would do anything. I think he sees her as his daughter now compared to before, like what he said that at one point she was just luggage. But I think now he's got that attachment that as a father figure, you do anything to protect your child, no matter at what cost. So I kind of see maybe that's what he's going for, that
Sure.
he doesn't want to lose her like he lost his daughter. But that's just my opinion. Overall, one of the things that kind of got me, the daywalker thing, that kind of threw me for a loop. Where I work in the medical field, and they're saying they have to take her parts of her brain to collect the cure. Majority of the time, it's always in the blood. So that was a different spin on that. But yeah, my wife too, same thing. She was looking at the time run. How much more time is left? How much time do I have to recuperate? Or what's going to happen bad? And then when it leaves you at the black screen, she's like, "Are you freaking kidding? How long do we have to wait till the next episode?"
2 years.
Yeah, she
What do you
wasn't
mean next
happy.
episode?
She wasn't happy with that. So, but you bringing up what you said, Joe, I really think, like you said, they're going to drag out season 2 to a certain extent. I'm wondering if they're going to give more, if they're going to, how can I put it? Since the game only has so far into it, are they going to add like fillers to explain more detail into the game that
Yeah,
they didn't have in the game?
I was wondering that too because the part two takes a couple years of a jump, from what I remember, and some things happen pretty early on that dramatically change how it goes. But Druckmann, the creator, is involved with the show, so if he wanted to, season two could be what happens in between part one and part two. And since it's coming from the creator himself, it could provide some filler that a lot of fans didn't get. So they had an easy time with the first season because everybody loves The Last of Us Part 1. The Last of Us Part 2 was very controversial. And so I feel like Druckmann and the other creators on the show are going to maybe try to right that wrong a little bit, and maybe by providing more of the backstory before that story takes place, to maybe justify it a little bit. So,
Yeah.
it would be cool if that happened. I don't know that they'll do it,
They
but
could do it via cutscenes and stuff like flashbacks, you know.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I took. That's what I thought. I mean, especially when you said that, that's the first thing that popped in my head. That's maybe what they're going to do.
Do we think Ellie at this point knows that he's lying? Because we don't know if there was a scene where because she cared about what was the leader of the Fireflies? Her name starts with an M. Marina. What was her name? Something like that.
Yeah.
Um, she she obviously is very staked and invested in Ellie's life too, because that's the whole reason they set us up with that original scene, the scene in the beginning of the episode. Ellie's mom was her best friend for her whole life. And Ellie very much understood what she wanted to do, and that was to help humanity. They could have had a conversation while he was blacked out, and Ellie could have chose
Yeah.
to do that. And
Marlene, yeah.
yeah, Marlene and Ellie could have had a conversation, and Ellie could have chose to sacrifice herself, and because there is a bit of skepticism I feel in Ellie after they leave.
I was right there with you when the show ended. I'm like, there's no way she's buying this 100%. But then the post show, I didn't have to avoid any trailers, right? Bella Ramsey says her character 100% believes in what he's saying. So I think that she absolutely does. Legacy Nerds with you, Ellie knows. But Bella
Yeah.
Ramsey's saying the opposite. That no, she's trusting Joel at his word, and
I
does
think
that
she's
play
forcing
into a part?
herself to believe him. She's
Yeah,
forcing herself to
Sure,
believe him.
and I think that
sure,
was her words
100%.
too. Yeah, in the actress's words, Bella Ramsey kind of said that exactly. She's forcing herself to believe in this person because she cares about him too, but she's seen what this life is. And who knows if she wants to keep doing this thing? You know what I mean? She's like, if I could sacrifice myself to save everybody, it seems like a choice that Ellie would make. She's not selfish. Where
That's her purpose. That's
Joel
her
is
sole
extremely
purpose.
selfish.
Yeah.
Joel is extremely selfish, and so I mean, I don't know. Can we talk about how? I mean, what was the body count through the building there?
That was quite a bit.
The
And
people-
homeboy went and
dozen?
shot that one guy that put his gun down, didn't even want to fire a shot, and he's like,
Yeah.
boom, there you go. You got dealt with. You're gonna learn now.
and and the doctor didn't even get it. He says you can't have her. He didn't even give it a second thought after he said that. Pop.
He
And
pulled out
then-
a scalpel. I'm like, bro, you're bringing a knife to a gunfight. No.
Gunfight.
but we knew once they got him into that stairwell, we knew that it was getting ready to go, all hell. Because honestly, there was a little bit less action in this than I thought there would be, given this a season finale. And again, we didn't run into clickers again at all. And maybe this is a budget saving thing for them too, because they promised to do practical effects on all the clickers. It gets very, very pricey. But I mean, who knows? Again, we didn't see any clickers there either. I know there's a lot more action in the video game, and you have to do that because gameplay is important, right?
Sure.
But you know,
When Joel was out there just laying waste to these people, it was giving me like what's his name? Itachi Uchiha vibes. Have you ever fans of Naruto? When Itachi went and just laid waste to the village, man. Like that's what I was getting. I was getting those types of vibes from Joel just laying waste to people. Like he didn't care, man. He was on a mission. He was just, you're in my way. Boom. You're getting it, you know?
So Joe, so you played the game. So
Yeah.
my wife asked me, I don't know, did he have military training, or was it just his brother?
It was his brother.
Okay, so that's what I told my wife. I was like, he was born in Texas.
Yeah.
So being a Texan, you got to know how to shoot a gun. You got to know how to do all that good stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, she was asking me about that, and I was like, I don't know. I go, but he handled a gun pretty well. Not even just a gun, even the fighting, he did pretty good.
Well, yeah, he's been out on the road for so long, you know, he's got and he was a Firefly at one point, so he's had training from them, you know,
That's
but
true.
it's not like he was part of the military prior, you know, he got the Firefly training he learned their guerrilla tactics, that kind of stuff,
That's what it was.
and
Okay.
how to fight. How to create chaos and confusion, and then you attack.
Yeah, my wife thought that when they threw that grenade down there. I told her, "Oh, that's a flashbang." She's like, "What is that?" And I was like, "That's gonna just distract. It's gonna disorient him.
Yeah, it
Disorient him."
disorients the senses, as far as your ability to hear. It's so loud, and you just hear eek, and then you get that flash, so you can't really see as well. So it dulls the senses. If you can't see, you can't hear, then you're an easier target to get at. Causes
Yeah,
confusion.
One thing I liked about that scene that not a lot of shows do when somebody gets knocked out. Usually, in every movie, anything I've ever seen, if somebody gets knocked out, it's a flash to black, a black screen, because you're knocked out. Your eyes are closed. But in this one, for some reason, when they knocked him into the head, it did the open to like white, and then it was all white. It may have been the effects of the flashbang or whatever else it might be, but I thought that was just an interesting choice. Normally, in action scenes, if somebody gets knocked out and you're in the POV of the character, it zooms to black. In this case, it went to white.
Yeah, it was kind of blurry, like when you're opening your eyes, and you're kind of waking up and you're
yeah,
disoriented, in a way he can't really see, doesn't know where he's at. I think it's because they want to portray the effect of him having a concussion, and just not knowing where he's at. So I like that
yeah,
as well. Even the way that they opened it, it was kind of like oval shape in a way,
Yeah,
where it was like his eyes are opening up.
yeah. I thought that was really really good.
Yeah.
But there, honestly, like there's not too much to break down in this episode. Everything was really straightforward. It's more so kind of like what's happening next is like,
Yeah. I think it's showing that everything that's happened in this episode is going to have effects moving forward. There's going to be consequences, uh, for everything that happened in this particular episode. So I thought it really well done. It was short and sweet because they didn't really have much to say. It was pretty straightforward. But I think what you really need to look at is, if you're a fan of it, is looking to see what transpired here and what Joel did and the lying that he did to Ellie. And not only that, but the killing. And how is that going to go ahead and affect things moving forward? Because he's going to have to worry about the people that he's killed, and maybe they be coming for him. And then he has to worry about Ellie, her finding out, what's going to happen when she finds out.
It's one of those things where, like, I don't know if he has to worry about it because he's probably killed people for like a lot less than than saving a
But these are
a child's
fireflies.
life.
This is a different thing.
Yeah, to me, it doesn't matter. Like the fireflies, I mean, this is probably the last of them, right? Like, I mean,
No, they
I know there's multiple in cities, but like this was technically like one of their executives or their leaders that he took out, and the people around her. And she already said she lost other people
she
before,
lost
so it's
five.
like, yeah, and those are some of her best fighters. It's their numbers are dwindling. He knows all about them. I don't know. The only thing that I really want to talk about is whether or not I agree with it. I just love that the reasons that he's lying to Ellie. Ellie has lost everybody she's ever cared about around her, and most of those deaths, whether it was her best friend, whether it was survivors along the way, she feels guilty. She feels 100% responsible. And if he were to tell her that, yes, I had to destroy everybody in that building for you, that would have been too much for her because she already feels like she's just the hugest, biggest problem, that she's just like the angel of death. And for her to hear something like that, especially Marlene being a part of that body count because of her, she's the reason why, it would have been too much. It's too much to bear for her. And Joel doesn't want her to feel that way. So Joel lies to her, and he's going to keep lying to her because of those reasons. It's just too much. It's too much of a burden. It's too much for her to bear. And like I mentioned, I'm not saying whether I agree with it or not. It's just the fact that this is the story they're putting in front of us. These are his motivations. You got to admire kind of that part of the guy. He's did all of it to save her life, and he's not willing to tell her the truth to save whatever humanity she has left, because who knows what happens to her if she finds out the truth. She probably doesn't ever recover from something like that.
Yeah, I can see that too. Do you guys think that there's any because at the beginning of the episode it's obviously a little bit awkward between them two. And obviously Ellie is, going through PTSD for what she just went through. But do you think there's any in the beginning there like a little bit of resentment towards Joel for not saving her? Like he would expect her to, like a kid expects their dad to be the one who saved him after she just nursed him back to health and he was there, but he didn't make it in time to save her. And she went through all of that. And, not saying that it's like right, but do you think she like resents him a little bit there in that first little bit?
No, I think what she was trying to do is she was really trying to save him, just like he saved her so many times, and unfortunately, she was just a casualty of her actions, and Joel, he's always there to save her, but this time the flip kind of, the script flipped, and in the end, he had to go ahead and save her. So he proves himself to her continuously, but again, the effects of what she goes through is lingering. I think that's one of the things that this episode kept on leading to. Just because things happen doesn't mean like you can just move on and there's not going to be any lingering effects. You saw what happened to Ellie. She got captured. Joel was there to go ahead and save the day, but she was put in these situations that had a lingering effect on her early on in the episode where she just was not herself. And again, another situation occurs in the season finale. It's going to have lingering effects on her as well, so we're going to see, so come season 2 how they're going to play this.
Yeah, I would love it if they did um like since Druckmann's involved, maybe not get all the way to where the part 2 starts. Like maybe that first part of the season is something that was never in the video games, that's completely made up, but canon, because he's following along with the storylines of one, and then setting up what was his part 2, but using a whole season as something that was not in the video game at all.
Yeah, even in like the end, the season finale of in the video game, if I remember correctly, when I was playing it, the whole place caught fire as Joel was going through that last scene, shooting people. When you're in the video game, you're going through the stairwells and all that. The whole place, I remember, was on fire. So they didn't do that in the season finale. It was a little different. So I'm not thinking that they're gonna follow the script completely for season 2, but I do hope they kind of differ a little bit to where it makes it a little bit better for the fans, because I'd hate for it to just be a copy and paste of the storyline from the video game. It's like you have a chance, like you said, to right the wrongs, and I hope they take the time to do it. It would mean a lot to the fans.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So what was the cry meter? So I know I cried in at least 7 episodes. Not baby bald cry, but I got tear pulled in at least 7 episodes. I know Lauren, she cried every single episode like a baby. Um, Anybody else cried during any episodes of the season?
Nope.
I maybe had, two slightly emotional moments throughout the season.
I did not cry in any of these episodes of The Last of Us, but I did get emotional with the freaking Oscars, dude. Like with Ki Hu Kwan when he
Yeah,
won. That shit got to me. Like I watched the Oscars, and I've never gotten emotional, but when he won, that was like raw emotion. And not only that, but I grew up with watching his movies. Like you watch The Goonies, you watch, you know, um, the Temple of Doom, Short Round, and you see this kid, and where he started from his early on in his acting career, and see how far he's come, and it has a resurgence, and all of a sudden, wow, he won it all. He
yeah,
best supporting actor, and he's just so excited, so happy, full of energy. And then the other thing was like Harrison Ford was up there as well. Not that time that he won the award, but there was another time he was up there and he went and embraced him and was like, damn, this like came full circle for him. And the other one that got me emotional was Brendan Fraser when he won. I'm like, dude, this brother came from Encino Man to win Best Actor, and his career took a turn, and this is his resurgence, you know. So I was like, dang,
His
man, these
his
are
career definitely took a turn. It was good to see him win.
yeah, good to see him win.
I got emotional, definitely with the Asian gentleman. I forget his name.
Ki
Uh,
Hu Kwan.
yeah, that was great, especially the embrace with Harrison Ford. But another moment in the Oscars last night kind of pulled me a little bit. It's when John Travolta came out to announce the in memoriam segment about the actors and directors who had passed away, and he was getting all teary eyed and emotional. He couldn't even get through the teleprompter because the first name that was coming was Olivia Newton-John, who we lost this year.
Yeah.
So it was actually a pretty good show. Jimmy Kimmel, he can kick rocks. What a hypocrite, dude! Man show to the wokest man alive, but it actually was a pretty good Oscars. Thanks for bringing that up, Joe. I almost forgot those were last night, but yeah, there was a couple of really good moments in there.
Yeah, you know what we need to do is we think we need to have like a post Oscar show or something, you know, and kind of talk about that. We don't do that, but I mean, it's not like you have to go for hours. But I think that's something we should start thinking about doing maybe
Well,
next year.
if they start awarding the good movies, like when is the last time, like Everything Everywhere All at Once, we all gave it a pretty good score for movies
Yeah,
last year. We all gave it a
I
pretty
thought it
good
was
score.
brilliant. I
Yeah,
really did.
but no one's really going to be watching that in 5 years. Like the movies, like Top Gun Maverick, people are still going to be watching that. Like Top Gun Maverick was the best movie of the year. Like it's really not
I
even
thought it
close.
was,
It's
and I thought it was a travesty how they didn't win any more awards like for editing and stuff like that. I'm like, how do you not give it to Top Gun Maverick, because that is like live actual video where you're shooting on the ground in the cockpit in an airplane, and then you give it to Everything Everywhere All at Once, which, don't get me wrong, it was
it
a
was
great movie
fun.
in its own right, but it's a lot of like CGI. Then they're using, you know, like stunt doubles and whatnot. I get that, but Top Gun Maverick saved the movies. It brought people back to the theaters. How
They
do you
won
not
an
give it
important
best?
award, though. They did, because the sound award they absolutely deserved.
Yeah, but I'm like,
Um,
how do you not win the best movie? Like, they saved the movies, you know? That
but
movie saved
also,
it.
Technically, No Way Home had way more
No,
money
Teddy.
and it came out
No.
before that one. Yes, it
No,
did.
Teddy. No,
It
Teddy.
did.
No, no, no.
What are you disagreeing with? Because it did make more money than Top Gun.
It made more money than Top Gun, no doubt. But I'm saying,
Okay.
as far as bringing people together, like having that thrill again of going back into the cinema and really watching an old school movie where it's not a lot of CGI, it's just a good story, good acting, and a spectacular cinematography. And you were even one to say the experience in IMAX, the experience if you're in the D box, that's what brought people back, for the experience. And I get, you know, No Way Home brought people together back into the theater, but this did something more for cinema
yeah.
than No Way Home.
And the demographics have to be way different. Like the people who went to go see Top Gun Maverick, a good portion of them aren't people who go or interact with New Hollywood in
Yeah,
any way. There's going to be an older contingent of,
there's a baby boomer scene that came back to
um,
the theater.
but another big snub, and here's the problem I have with the Oscars sometimes, is sometimes there's real bias towards one movie. It was clear last night that Everywhere All at Once there was going to be some bias towards that in certain things. Angela Bassett to me got absolutely snubbed by Best Actress, and I love Jamie Lee Curtis, but Angela Bassett got absolutely snubbed of Best Actress or Best
I mean,
Yeah.
Supporting or whatever it
Best
was.
let's
supporting.
be
Best
honest,
supporting.
man. You look and see Jamie Lee Curtis's portrayal of that character, and it wasn't, to me, it was not groundbreaking. You
No.
know, I don't understand how she wins that award, other than the tone of the night was the underdogs are going to win big. You know, that's exactly what happened in this year's Oscars. You know, they were favoring the underdog. You know, they were giving, I think they were playing more into what the fans wanted, more so than the actual product that was out there on the silver screen, you know?
One of the
Yeah,
things that
Levi
got
is in the chat saying facts to everything that we're talking about. But to be fair, it was either Jamie Lee Curtis or Angela Bassett.
Angela. Yeah.
but you have to give that to Angela. Even the clip they showed for her nomination, I
Yeah.
mean, it was resounding. And Angela Bassett is one of our treasures in cinema, and she's been around for a long time. My first movie I ever saw her in, there was a movie on VH1 called Jackson's The American Dream.
Yeah.
It was like a 3 hour long,
Yeah.
like a story of the Jacksons, but she played the mom. And
Yeah.
yeah, I've been a fan of Angela Bassett for a very long time. I really wanted to
Wow.
see her.
And then she
Her
did
get that.
Tina Turner, her iconic role,
Oh, for sure, yeah.
and I gotta say, Angela Bassett, I mean, she looks fantastic for her age.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
she was just killing it at the Oscars. I was like, wow, look at her, man. Like she deserved to win. That's all I'm saying. She deserved,
But
especially for her role.
well, we review a lot of movies, and here's my thing:
Yeah.
we talk about a lot of movies, we talk about a lot of things, and sometimes we're very pigeonholed in sort of keeping it sort of nerdy or geek themed. I get that. Not every movie that we watch is going to be on the Oscar, but for the most part, like 90% of the movies, no, you never knew the name of it. You didn't watch it. Nobody watched it. And it's about all of these like pretentious cinema people getting together about these movies that none of us watched. None of us
Nobody
are ever
watched
going to
Tar.
watch. Yeah, nobody watched that, and so
No.
it's just like I would prefer it. Like I almost take like the MTV Movie Awards more seriously than I do the Oscars because it's movies that people actually watched.
It's
Yeah.
it's what it's one of those things. It's kind of like in music. We all agree the most played stuff on the radio is not the highest quality, right?
Not
There's there's pop, there's like bubblegum pop music that gets nonstop plays, nonstop streams, but it's not groundbreaking. It's not pushing any genres forward, stuff like that. And I'm not trying to talk about any one specific person, but we all understand like that music that just happens to be the flavor of the week and is the most popular thing right now. It's not going to be listened to in 20 years. Meanwhile, put on some 80s jams. We're loving that stuff all day long because that stuff never gets old.
So,
You know what I
question:
mean?
all of y'all watched it last night. So I saw on Twitter and stuff that some people were kind of angry that Kevin Conroy wasn't part of that memorial
Ooh.
of actors that we lost this year. Did he come on there?
Well, he just wasn't a big movie. I'm sure they'll do something for him at the Emmys because he was animated TV for the most part. That's what he's known for.
But
The
he was,
Oscars.
Guillermo del Toro, he won for that Pinocchio
yeah.
animated film, which was stop motion, and it looks great. But have I watched it? No. I have not. It's on Netflix. Have I watched it? No. And then my son,
I have. That's pretty good.
who's an artist, and he loves animation and all that because something he wants to get into. He's like, it looks great, but has he watched it? Absolutely not. But he respected the artistic vision.
Yeah, and how do we not have Morbius? What a snub!
Oh my God, that's a Razzie material right there.
No Black Adam. I mean, come on.
Come on,
They
man.
should have a
Jesus.
category, the worst movies of the year. Who wins that one? You got the best. Let's give out an award for the worst.
Yeah, I do. The Razzies are pretty. Do they even do that anymore, or does
They
everything
still
have to be?
do.
Oh
They
yeah,
did.
so I
They
They
like
could.
still
that.
do.
They had to rescind their worst actress of the year award because it was a kid.
Yeah.
Oh man, wow.
Yeah.
It,
Yeah, that's a little rough.
that is a
Yeah.
little rough. Yeah.
Yeah, Way of the Water, I thought should have won a little bit more, but now
Visual
that I'm
effects, maybe.
yeah, but I guess it was all right. Look at this Oscars talk. I didn't expect to get
Right?
into that.
I got to drop it in, man, because we didn't have it slated, but I'm like, you know what? F that, man. The Oscars happened last night. We can't act like it didn't. And it was a good one. Nobody slapped each other. Nobody got up and caused a scene. Everybody was well behaved. And like Jimmy Kimmel said, just do what you do. If something like that happens again, don't do a damn thing. Everybody just sat there and watched it happen.
Yeah,
Has it been a year already since that happened?
yeah.
Yep.
But honestly,
Jesus.
I wish there was more slaps. Last year was lit. There was a news cycle for days. Um, it's pretty funny. It would have been funny if they gave an award to Chris Rock for his most recent document or his comedy special.
Comedy
That would have been
special.
kind of like an honorary award since they gave Will Smith the award after he just
Hey, but
slapped
let's
the
be
guy.
honest here, though. Let's be honest. If it wasn't for that infamous slap, Chris Rock and Will Smith have been enjoying the frivolity of that because
Oh,
they're
yeah.
having these specials come out. People are talking, people are watching, people are engaged. It's entertainment because why? Because it has to do with that controversial slap, So people like drama. Basically, that's exactly what that is. They
Mhm.
like the drama, the back and forth, So yeah, they put the focus on the Oscars that year. No doubt. I bet you it was one of the most watched Oscars of probably all time. Going back and checking the replays out and all that
Oh
with the
yeah,
slap. Yeah.
it's
I
not
wouldn't
even
doubt it. I
close.
wouldn't doubt it. Levi Wright is in the chat saying, "Question: If you give a deserving Oscar to each category, what are your choices?" Just curious, since this is a hot topic. If you give a deserving Oscar to each category, what are your choices?
Just like they said, best actor, best actress, best supporting actor, both male and female. But one of the other things that I haven't, you don't really see a lot of is like the writing and stuff. They do give Oscars for that, but you'd like to see a little bit more love, especially for these writers,
Oh
screenwriters,
yeah,
because
definitely.
without them, you wouldn't even have a damn movie to film,
Hmm. It's the same thing. That's why I like comics, is because if it isn't for the writers and the artists, we wouldn't even have these movies right now
Yeah.
because of them having these comics in DC and Marvel and these writers who wrote the stories and built these followings.
And they built
They're,
the characters,
yeah, built the
build these
characters in
worlds.
general. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We wouldn't even have these movies. So to me, that's why I always feel like I want to give the artists props and the writers props, because without these guys, we wouldn't have any of this stuff.
Yeah, but if there's anybody out here wanting to start, writing something new or getting into cinema, the one thing that it looks like Hollywood does give love to, if in fact you can make it a success, which it's really hard to,
Yeah,
is originality. Hollywood has
sure.
gotten a little bit stagnant, where they're just copy and pasting and doing rehashes of old franchises and trying to go ahead and reboot them, and then in today's society, the cool thing to do is just go ahead and just do the MCU thing, Marvel, or just go and do the DCU thing, comic book. And you know what, I think people are starting to get a little bit jaded with that. They're starting to get a little tired of that. I think it's time for Hollywood to start making a push for original films, original characters, and things that are more mainstream, not that tar stuff or the Banshees movie and all that stuff that ain't nobody gonna watch.
Well, plus,
I
like, go
I
ahead.
think we talk about this all the time, that like Hollywood isn't original, but like I saw a crap load of original movies last year. I saw Nope, I saw Smile, I saw
Smile was awful, Teddy. Come on now.
what was that one with shoot, there's another horror one that I watched with the woman woman that lived underground, Barbarian, the
Oh
Barbarian.
God, that was horrible.
But these are original movies. Like you're talking about
Horrible.
like
No, that was ugly. The one thing that I can never get out of my head is that gruesome girl sitting down with Justin Long, baby. Baby, and if you know the scene, you know damn well. As soon as I saw that, me and my sons turned and looked at each other, and we went,
it's a horror movie. You're not supposed to like be happy and see kittens and rainbows. You're
No,
supposed to
bro,
get
I agree with you. I agree with you. The movie was, it was different. It was
it
a
was
different.
bad,
It was a different.
different bad.
Well, it's just like I said. It was that category where they were trying to be new, not reboot or anything like that. A different spin. I mean, because if you really were to stop and analyze it, like there's this house. Like if you're going to Laredo,
uh-oh.
it's off this one highway. I kid
35?
you. No, this is like it's past Hondo. It's like literally like in the boonies.
Oh, 90
This,
then.
yeah, this it's like this house has barbed wire fence all around it, and it's like there's nothing nearby it. So it makes you think like, who are you trying to either keep from either coming out of your house or going in your house? So it's like the fence is high,
Where
barbed
you are
wire.
entering cartel category, territory there. So
But no,
And
it's
that's
just
our
scary. I
show,
mean,
folks.
it's like you could think like, if you kidnap somebody, you put them in that house, no one ever know unless someone would go into the house or see somebody. That's kind of what happened there. That guy kidnapped those ladies, took them to the basement, and basically just, what he did with them. Basically, wiped their brains out and made them kind of like I was saying, what would you say,
barbarian.
Teddy? Like zombies, kind of?
Yeah, almost like very zombie-like. I mean, they just
Yeah.
became very
Yeah.
animalistic.
You know
Yeah,
what
And
that's
Hollywood needs to
very
do?
original movie.
You
Yeah.
know what Hollywood needs to do? They need to do something that
Oh,
the people want. And you know what? Everybody
Top
has
Gun
already
Maverick. That's what people wanted,
people
and
want
you
that.
loved
But I'm
it, and you're
saying,
crying about
no, no,
originality when
no.
you loved the reboot.
I did. This was not a reboot. It was a continuation of a
No,
beloved
but
franchise.
the franchise is rebooting itself. I agree with you,
They're
but
not rebooting. It's a
it's
sequel.
a sequel,
Yeah.
but a sequel's not original.
it's
But I'm
reviving.
saying,
It's reviving the franchise.
if they wanted to make an impact, let's say you want to do a different take on a superhero genre, stop giving people what they want as far as the hero. I think people are getting stagnant on the hero. I think it's time for the rise of the villain. Give us a really good villain movie, a really good dark villain movie. I think people would be
Have
down for
any of
that.
y'all seen the James Gunn movie that he did?
Which
Uh,
one?
Right,
that was the one I forgot the name of the
Brightburn.
title.
Brightburn.
Yeah, that one. Did y'all watch that one?
I watched
Yeah,
that one.
Yes,
It was all right.
yeah.
It's all right.
it
I
was
mean,
not
I
that
had
bad.
the
was
whispers. If they were allowed to use Superman and they didn't have to go back and rewrite the script a little bit to leave all that Superman stuff out of it, I think it would have been really great. But it was like it was. I loved the idea of it, but it was clearly supposed to be a Superman project.
well. There's another movie that's supposed. I'm not sure if it's coming on Netflix. I have to look at it, but it's Nemesis. That's kind of the same premise of. It's kind of like a super villainish.
I've not
It's
heard about
basically
that.
like, yeah. So that one's coming out. That one. If you guys never read that book, that guy's the guy. That same guy's the one that wrote Civil War for Marvel. I mean, he's the one that wrote Kick Ass. He's the one that wrote the Kingsman. I mean, that writer, that creator is awesome. Now, Nemesis, they do it right. It could be what you want, Joe.
Yeah. Oh, an updated Spawn movie, Levi Wright. Yeah, man, we're all waiting for that.
On the way, on the way. Todd
Hopefully, this
said
one's good. Hope this one's good.
Todd already said Jamie Lee Fox. Jamie Fox. Just said Jamie Lee Fox. Jamie Fox is going to be the lead.
No,
He's
man.
already.
No, it's
What?
already going to be
What?
bad with him in it.
What's wrong with Oscar winner Jamie Fox? Please tell me
He's
what's wrong with that.
long past his Oscar roles, bro. Let's put it like that. Have you seen his last film that he did on Netflix? If you
What
have
was it?
not, you're going to know why. It's bad. It's that bad. It was horrible.
Yeah, he always gets a pass for Django.
Oh
but
yeah.
but he does have this kind of candy assness about his comedy that it makes it hard to take him seriously. But
Hey, Ray, come on. You got to talk about Ray.
Ray, and not retro, but Ray, the OG Ray. Yeah, that was a fantastic film.
yeah, Ray was
He
good.
killed it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that was
those
great.
days are long past him already.
And I'm sick of movies about musical characters. Like I'm so glad Austin Butler, who is also cringe, lost for his cringe unwatchable Elvis movie. I'm glad that won no awards. That's just why.
You know which one, Maddie, that I'm happy, and me and my wife were just like cringe. We cringed at it. The Fablemans. Why
yeah.
the F would you want to go ahead and award a film that is about yourself? And then you have, look, I get Steven Spielberg is a great director and whatnot, but this movie was total ass.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. No,
Oh, yeah.
I would not call it that. It's
it was
just
ass, Ted. It was ass.
It-
I will call it. I'll tell Steven to his face. Hey, bro, how's it doing? Fablemans? It was ass. I'll tell him to his face. I'm not scared.
if you want to check out our review, it's not on our YouTube channel. But no, we actually recommended it. It wasn't
Oh man, why?
great because it is a solid, grounded story about a family. Why are we talking about this right now? It's not gonna win any awards, but it was a recommend.
You might as well tell people, here's a brick, hit yourself in the head and save you the trouble. Don't watch it, man. Maddie and me will give you a Miller Lite when you come through.
All right, Rob, we get it, Rob.
Mhm.
Oh,
It's all good, man. Well, look, we want to
Oh
hear.
no, here comes
We want to
Ryan.
No,
hear.
No,
no.
no,
So
no.
that's how you know it's good. That's how you know it's good right there. Throw that comment up. That's how you know it's good. Yeah, right. It sucks.
I
It's
recommended
Ryan?
it too. I
If Ryan
recommended it
says a
too.
movie is
And if
good,
Ryan says it's good, that means it sucks.
it's bad. It was real bad.
Ah, dang.
I I I think I gave it a 7 or an 8 out of 10.
Oh
Maybe a 7
man,
out of 10. Yeah, I gave it a 7 out of 10. So above par, not breaking any records or winning any Best Picture awards, but I honestly did like it. So
the Fablemans is the
beautifully
equivalent
made,
of drinking a
beautifully
hot
made.
bush beer in the summertime.
Oh,
Yeah,
Nice.
exactly.
well, this I don't know how you come up with that, but yeah, okay. Let's see. Levi, right? Oh, Ryan says a movie about true cinema on how to make a movie back in the day.
You want a good movie of how to make a movie back in the day using 8 millimeter? Super 8, better than Fablemans. I said it. I'm not scared.
Hey, I like Super 8. That's fantastic.
And on the producer end, if you want to watch a movie, a series about how a movie gets made, The Offer with Miles Teller about how they made The Godfather
There you go.
is
That's good.
incredible.
Yeah.
I still have not seen that. It's on my
It's
list.
so good. It's really good.
And you're over here recommending Fablemans to people.
I keep
Teddy, shame on
forgetting.
you.
I've
Shame
been
on
a
you.
busy guy recently. Sue me. Levi says it's probably better than Cocaine Bear. Hey, Joe loved
Hey
Cocaine Bear.
man,
Don't be talking
Cocaine
trash
Bear
about
was
the bear.
legit, bro. Cocaine Bear was legit. I'm waiting for Cocaine Shark. They said that's going to be a thing.
Ah, that is
Tornado,
hilarious.
cocaine, shark,
No, Cocaine
sharknado,
Shark.
cocaine, sharknado. There you
No,
go.
no tornado, just Cocaine Shark. That's what I want
Cocaine
to see.
shark. Absolutely, absolutely. Ryan
Oh
says
no, that's how you know
exactly.
Cocaine Bear is
Both
a
are
winner.
good. Anything is better than Cocaine Bear. I've heard nothing but good things about Cocaine Bear. I still have yet to seen it. But Joe was at the premiere with Brian, right? Brian loved it too.
It was
So
funny. It's a good dark
still
comedy.
I'm intrigued. I still need to see it. Yeah.
So
Speaking of
Flicks, hey, so
movies,
Flicks Brewhouse Wednesdays $5 movies. So if you don't want to spend the full price to go watch Cocaine Bear, you could pay $5 to watch it at Flicks Brewhouse.
shout out to Flicks getting a plug from us. How about a sponsorship? Let us know.
Hey
Yeah, that's the
man,
only way Teddy's going to
$5 is
be able to
$5.
afford to drink that bougie beer. If we get a sponsor here, times are
There you
rough.
go. There you go. There you go.
Hey, the beer's not bad, though. I have to admit, compared to what my old theater that I used to go to was a Draft House over here by Westlakes. When they closed it down, I was so disappointed.
I was
So,
bummed.
so
I was bummed. Well, listen, I think we've already finished talking about The Last of Us. We got
Yeah.
off on a really long tangent, but we want to hear from you guys.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts about it? Or if you're listening to us on our podcast version of this episode, send us an email at the contact page of our website at countdowncitygeeks.com. We want to hear from you guys. What did you guys think about it? Let us know. We'll finish up this episode really quick, but before we do, I just wanted to talk about some geeky weekly headlines, and I've been waiting for a chance to talk about this next movie, and finally we got something new, a new promotional photo for Blue
oh,
Beetle. Yes, sir. That suit
nice.
is absolutely gorgeous. The details, it's straight off the comic book pages, and this is a film we absolutely cannot wait for. Zolo Mariduena will be playing Jaime Reyes, the Blue Beetle hero, in the upcoming film later this year, finally. But sick promotional picture. Hope we get more from it pretty soon. Let's see. Hoping for a teaser. We should be getting a teaser in the next couple of months, I would think. The movie's
Yeah.
right around the corner, so they need to start dropping stuff like ASAP.
I
Yeah.
hope it's good. I really hope it's good. I don't want it to be a horrible DCEU movie. I don't want another Black Adam. I'm not even gonna go watch Shazam. It looks so bad. You
Yeah, I'm
know?
not gonna watch
Maddie said the same thing.
No,
No,
I ain't gonna waste
no.
my money on that garbage. They have characters that had never existed in the comic book, and they brought them into this film. You already know it's trash. No.
Man, man. I don't know what to say to that, but yeah, I get it. I get it.
Yeah. Even
Um,
if I watch it for free, I still might not go.
Good to know, man. Good to know. You know what? I'm gonna watch Shazam because
Oh,
it's kind of what we do, and I'm excited to see what they have in store. A little bit. I like Zachary Levi. I think it's gonna outdo the first one, so I'm gonna go check it out.
Ryan, so you trash original characters. I'm trashing original characters that have no context in moving the actual storyline forward. If they weren't in the actual storyline in the comic book, what makes you think that this story with original characters thrown in is going to be the saving grace for a movie that overall looks horrible and rushed? That's all I'm saying.
And now that we know Black Adam is done, there's no future tie-in with them, which was the one thing that maybe we were hoping for. I mean, it's just no.
Yeah,
It looks awful.
it does. It looks awful. It
Well,
looks like some kid did it in middle school on their computer, man.
so this from being the comic side. So when Marvel was doing that, DC wasn't doing at one point. They were taking stories from the actual comics and integrating little bits and pieces to make these movies. DC, what was happening in the DC world was not happening in the universe in the movie world. So they weren't integrating anything. There's no communication between the two. So if you read the stories, like the Shazam story arc when the New 52 came out, that story arc was cool. Like even the Aquaman was cool. Jeff Johns, what he wrote. If they had turned some of that stuff into actual live action, it would have been pretty badass to see it on live action. But
Yeah.
they didn't. They were just two separate divisions that they like. If let's put it this way, even the animated stuff that the DC has made, all those animated movies, those are awesome.
Yeah.
If they could do that to live action, that would have been sick. But it was three different divisions working the same belt.
You know what it
Working
boils down to,
individually.
Ray?
What's
Good
that?
writing. Good writing. And unfortunately, the animated, let's say, movies is where it's at with DC.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it doesn't translate to the the cinematic
Yeah,
experience.
that's why I said because there were separate divisions and no
Yeah.
communication between the two, and that's to me what got me. If they would have, all sat at a table and said, "Hey, what can we do?" I think things could have been better. With Gunn taking over, him taking from the comics. That's just my opinion. Like I said, you guys can take it however y'all see it. But with him taking from there, a lot of people were kind of dissing him. But you think about it, he took a character. If you ever read the original Guardians of the Galaxy,
I have the
Groot,
comic books.
yeah, Groot was not at all nowhere near what he was on the movie screen.
Or
If you-
Rocket.
Yeah,
Or
they were completely different.
Star-Lord. Yeah.
So what he did was he basically created these unknown characters. Were not created, but made these unknown characters actually want people wanting to like these characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel that he could probably do this with DC. I mean, my wife didn't like John Cena, and she likes the show that he's doing, Peacemaker. So that tells you something right there. If she doesn't like the actor and she likes the show because he's in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It like I said, James Gunn has a way of doing things differently. I'm gonna give him the
Benefit of the doubt.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You know what I mean? But like
Wicked
I said,
man.
it's gonna be it's scary. We're walking that fine line right now until we actually see what he produces for the first
Yeah.
one. That's gonna be the really determination of what's gonna happen.
Hey, Ryan, he's back, Teddy.
What do you mean?
Ryan, he's back. He put exactly what I felt with Cocaine Bear. I'm like, bro, Cocaine Bear in the title. You know what kind of movie this is. What do you think it was going to be? Filet Mignon? It's going to be one of the top rated movies of the year. It's a dark comedy, bro. Get off my timeline.
I will be the final word. I'm just kidding. I still need to see it because I am interested. I love what you and Brian had to say about it.
Yeah, I need
Uh,
to go with Ryan. You know what, Ryan? Me and you got to do some movie reviews, and I'll go toe to toe with you. I think it'd be a good show. Bring it, bring the heat, brother. Bring the heat.
You guys can go to the theater, share some popcorn, share a drink or something. There you go.
Share a
I have to
drink.
sit next to him.
Sure. Why
I
not?
said I would go see a movie. I didn't say I would sit next to the brother.
Share a drink.
Share a
Absolutely.
drink. We get to hold hands and the popcorn too, Teddy. What are you doing, man?
If you want to, if you want to. Gunner says a missed opportunity is that they could have released the Mario movie on March 10th, since that day is Mario Day. Absolutely. I think they should have. That would have been so
Yeah,
cool.
that would have been smart.
Listen, before we get out of here, I want to talk about one more thing that's kind of blew up over the weekend. All of us were talking about it on Twitter. The release of a brand new trailer for RoboCop Rogue City.
Oh, that video game. Yeah.
Want everybody to check this out real quick. So grab some popcorn, grab a seat, and let's check out the latest trailer for RoboCop Rogue City, which is expected to be out later this year.
You came to clean up this city, didn't you? It'd be easier to burn it all to the ground. Believe me, just burn it all.
Come back with a warrant, cop.
All right. All of the arcade staff will sell to you.
Drugs in the basement? I will take care of that. Open the door. I have the warrant.
Oopsie, I think I dropped my key somewhere. It's RoboCop!
Surrender your weapons.
Watch out! He's coming! Finally! Just die already!
Was that Peter Dweller's voice? Peter Weller?
I don't know. It kind of doesn't sound like him, so I'm wondering if they used somebody else. But if the actually the video on the stream might have been skipping a little bit because it was actually playing in 4K. So apologies if it didn't come out crystal clear. But you can check out the trailer now on YouTube. But it looks fantastic. I love the little details. The arcade. I'm wondering if it's from the arcade in RoboCop 2. Was it RoboCop 2 where he goes to the
Oh, the
arcade
little
and
kid.
yeah, and he arrests the dirty cop. I think it was part 2.
We're not
I
talking
could be
about
wrong.
RoboCop 3.
Huh?
I said we're not going to talk about RoboCop
But
3.
I mean, yeah, it looks pretty good, and I like the theming of it. I like RoboCop, but they're gonna have to upgrade. Maybe you can like get some upgrades to like speed him up a little bit. I don't know how much I'm gonna be able to just clunk around through this world. You know what I mean? It's hopefully there's maybe some upgrades that we could get to maybe make him move a little bit faster because and while everything looks really good, if it takes you 30 minutes to get to the end of the street, I mean that's
Hey, maybe they put the jetpack from like RoboCop 3.
Ooh,
Yeah.
there you
That'd
go.
be very
There-
Mandalorian-ish if they
there you
do that.
go.
speaking
that's
of
He might
true
have
too.
something to say.
speaking of this is actually kind of a full circle because we kind of started off talking about cons and everything, and someone mentioned Detroit cons. I bet Detroit has some badass RoboCop cons.
I bet they do.
There's probably some great cosplays out there too. But yeah, RoboCop's great. But again, if the mechanics are clunky as far as moving around with them, I hope that it's not that slow.
That
Teddy,
bar
I-
reminded me of my local hood bar here, Speedways down the street. Minus the killing. It looks almost the same. It's ugly. It's dirty. It smells. But damn it, they got good prices on some Miller Lite. So just pull
Yeah,
up to the
there we
bar and
go.
get one on a hot day.
Hey Ted, so I thought you were gonna pull out the lightsaber trailer, dude.
Oh my god. Now we'll do that on Wednesday when we talk Mando. But yeah, there's a really cool video from South by Southwest
Oh, I saw
and
that. Yeah.
Lucasfilm. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit too. But yeah, RoboCop, Rogue City. You know what? For me, it's the little details. Number one, it looks great. The quality
Yeah.
of it looks great. And then all just the visuals from the movies, like getting all that down to a T, is fantastic. You know what I do like? Even though he's walking slow, he's walking kind of straight and level. You know what I mean? Like how he did in the film. So it's just those little details which like they're just killing it with those parts of it. I can't wait to play it. I remember the old school Nintendo game, the arcade game as well. The arcade game was a trip. He was doing all kinds of things, jumping in that video
Yeah.
game, which he never did in the movie. So yeah, looking forward to it. Hopefully it's good. And that's actually going to do it for us in this episode of the Countdown City Geekcast. Want to thank everybody for watching. Again, thank you to More Phenomenal for having us out this past weekend. We had an absolute blast. I know Ray did. Can't wait for the comics arts San Antonio event, which is going on not this weekend but the following weekend, March 25th. Again, for more information, go to Comics Arts San Antonio on Facebook or anywhere on social media to get more information about that. And then do not forget, I'll say it one more time, we are throwing down a Snyder Cut screening that's happening this Saturday on the 2-year anniversary. This Saturday, 6:30. If you want to attend with us, all you have to do is go onto Facebook, find the link, join our email list, our giveaway email list, and we will pick a bunch of winners to join us for the first ever San Antonio public screening for Zack Snyder's Justice League. Can't believe it's been 2 years already. Kind of feels like it's been longer than that, but yeah, really excited to finally see this on the big screen. So
Full
hope you guys
disclosure,
will
Ted.
join us.
If people do sign up for the email list, Ted will send you an autographed picture from his OnlyFans account.
Facts. Facts. Absolutely, folks. Oh man, The Last of Us is come and gone. Season 1 over with. It's been a trip. Thanks for joining us on our discussion. Now we focus on The Mandalorian. Every week going forward, we will probably be moving the show to Wednesdays to recap The Mandalorian going forward. So join us every Wednesday night for our Mandalorian recap with the Geekcast and also joining forces with General Kenobi's Bunker, Jose, who's just the encyclopedia of Star Wars. The guy knows so much stuff. It's crazy. But thanks everybody for joining. Don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube for us. Be sure to check out our newest and our latest articles on countdowncitygeeks.com. We got some pretty cool stuff on there. Thanks for watching. Once again, my name is Ted, aka Steady. Joining me on this stream is the man behind the magic, Joe Garcia.
Yeah, great episode, fellas. Thank you guys for listening and for also watching another episode of the Countdown City Geeks. And like always, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. And also, please go ahead and consider signing up for our email list. A lot of great stuff going to be coming your way when you sign up there. So we look forward to doing this show every week for you guys. And it was amazing again having, my brother from another mother here, Maddie B, and Retro Ray. And Ray, you got to do something, man. You got to make like some updates. You need to give us some updates on your t-shirt collection. Like you need to start like a YouTube channel or something, man. Like show us the collection. It's almost like a museum, man. Come on.
Dude, and that's how I gave some away to my sister's boyfriend, man, because I grew out of them. They got too tight, but there were some cool shirts I gave them too, man. I was like, I didn't want to part with them, but I was like, I know they're going to a good home, so I'm like, I'll give it to them. But yeah, there's some cool shirts I gave him on that one too. But yeah, I got quite a few.
There you go.
I guess you'll have to join the stream and see every shirt that I wear for every episode.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
It'd be like an Oscars thing. Like you just can't wear the same one twice.
I
You
know,
just
right?
gotta see a new outfit every single time.
Or do it like
Um,
Jericho, just turn it inside out.
That's
After
funny.
Joe, we also got Retro Ray.
Yeah, guys. If you guys aren't watching Star Trek Picard on top of Mandalorian, watch the episodes this coming Thursday. For the season finale, we're hoping to bring back a special guest to discuss the season. So hopefully, maybe another guest will join him. So just watch the episode so we can talk about it when the season finale happens.
Absolutely. And my partner in crime, you know him as Matty B.
Got to put another one in the recycle can. But buy merch, folks. Buy merch. You talk about cool shirts. Look how cool this shirt is. Buy merch. We got plenty on there. CountdownCityGeeks.com. And help us get Ted some bougie beer.
Hey, absolutely. Also, coming later this week, the John Wick 4 review from these two guys, Joe and Matty B. So be sure to be on the lookout for that. Have a good night, folks. See you next week.
Later.
Peace.